Let me tell you something most people never want to hear but desperately need to understand. Motivation will not save you. It never has, and it never will. Motivation is emotional, temporary, unreliable. It comes when things feel good and disappears the moment life gets heavy. Discipline, on the other hand, stays when motivation leaves. Discipline shows up when you are tired, when you are bored, when you are frustrated, and when no one is watching. Right now, your life is not a reflection of how motivated you feel. It is a reflection of how disciplined you are. Look around. The results you see are built from repeated actions, not sudden bursts of inspiration. If motivation was enough, everyone would be successful. Everyone feels motivated at some point. But very few people build the discipline to act without it. Most people wait. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. They wait for the perfect moment. And while they wait, life moves on without them. The uncomfortable truth is this: you don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your habits. And habits are built through discipline, not motivation. Motivation says, I'll start tomorrow. Discipline says, I start now. Motivation depends on mood. Discipline depends on identity. Discipline is not about forcing yourself once. It is about becoming the kind of person who does what needs to be done, no matter how they feel. This is where most people lose the battle. They confuse comfort with happiness. They think avoiding discomfort will protect them, but all it really does is keep them weak. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you vote for the life you are trying to escape. Every time you hit snooze, avoid the hard conversation, skip the work, delay the decision, you are teaching yourself that your word does not matter. And that is why confidence collapses. Confidence is not built by hype or positive thinking. Confidence is built when you keep promises to yourself. Discipline is self-respect in action. It is saying, I matter enough to do the hard thing. Discipline is waking up when you said you would. It is working when no one is clapping. It is staying consistent when results are invisible. This is why disciplined people seem calm under pressure. They don't rely on emotions to move forward. They rely on systems. They rely on structure. They rely on standards. Motivation asks, how do I feel today? Discipline asks, what needs to be done today? And that question changes everything. When discipline becomes your foundation, excuses lose their power. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop explaining why it's hard. You simply act. And action changes identity. Identity changes destiny. Most people don't fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are inconsistent. They do the right thing once, maybe twice, then quit when it stops feeling exciting. Discipline is boring. Repetition is boring. Consistency is boring. But boredom is the price of mastery. You don't become dangerous by doing extraordinary things once. You become dangerous by doing ordinary things relentlessly. Discipline trains your nervous system to tolerate discomfort. It rewires your brain to act first and think later. And once that happens, procrastination loses control over you. You stop being controlled by fear because fear thrives on hesitation. Discipline kills hesitation. The moment you move, fear shrinks. Action silences doubt. And slowly, quietly, you become someone different. Not louder, not flashier, just stronger. This is the difference between people who talk about change and people who embody it. Discipline does not announce itself. It proves itself through results. And here is the truth no one tells you. Discipline is freedom. People think discipline is restrictive, but it is the opposite. Discipline gives you control over your time, your body, your finances, your emotions. Without discipline, your life is controlled by impulses, moods, and other people. With discipline, you decide who you become. Motivation feels good, but discipline builds power. Motivation excites you for a moment. Discipline transforms you for a lifetime. And the moment you stop chasing motivation and start committing to discipline, everything shifts. Discipline is not about punishment. It is about alignment. It is aligning your actions with the future you say you want. Every disciplined action is a message to your subconscious mind that you can be trusted. And self-trust is the foundation of mental strength. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking validation. You stop waiting for permission. You stop needing approval. You move differently because you know you will follow through. This is why disciplined people intimidate the undisciplined. Not because they are aggressive, but because they are consistent. They don't argue. They don't complain. They execute. Discipline turns potential into performance. Potential without discipline is frustration. Talent without discipline is wasted. Dreams without discipline become regrets. The world does not reward intention. It rewards execution. And execution is discipline in motion. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer excuses. You need standards so clear that your emotions don't get a vote. When you decide in advance who you are and what you do, life becomes simpler. Not easier, but clearer. Discipline removes decision fatigue. You don't debate whether to show up. You already decided. You don't ask if you should train, work, focus, or learn. That question was answered by your standards. And standards create identity. Identity creates behavior. Behavior creates results. This is the chain most people never build. They want results without identity change. But discipline forces identity change. You stop saying I'm trying and start saying this is who I am. And once discipline becomes who you are, it no longer feels heavy. At first, discipline feels like resistance. Later, it feels like stability. Eventually, it feels like peace. Because chaos comes from inconsistency. Anxiety comes from broken promises. Stress comes from avoidance. Discipline removes all three. When you do what you said you would do, your mind becomes quieter. You don't carry guilt. You don't carry regret. You don't carry shame. You carry momentum. And momentum is powerful. Momentum makes hard things easier. Momentum compounds faster than motivation ever could. Motivation starts strong and fades. Discipline starts hard and gets easier. This is why discipline always wins. Discipline does not care about weather, mood, or opinion. Discipline shows up anyway. And that is why disciplined people are rare. Most people want comfort now and success later. Disciplined people choose discomfort now and freedom later. They understand delayed gratification. They understand that pain is temporary but regret is permanent. They understand that every disciplined day is a brick in a future most people will never reach. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. And every time you make that choice, you get stronger. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Discipline sharpens you. It removes softness. It removes excuses. It removes dependency. And what remains is someone who can be relied on. By others. But more importantly, by themselves. That is real power. That is real confidence. Not loud confidence. Quiet certainty. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything. Motivation wants results fast. Discipline is patient. Discipline understands process. Discipline understands that greatness is built in silence. While others are distracted, disciplined people are focused. While others are complaining, disciplined people are working. While others are waiting, disciplined people are becoming. And one day, the gap is visible. People call it luck. They call it talent. They call it timing. But it was discipline the entire time. Invisible, uncelebrated, uncomfortable, effective. This is your choice. You can keep chasing motivation, riding emotional highs, and crashing into the same habits. Or you can build discipline and change your life permanently. Motivation will hype you. Discipline will save you. Motivation feels good. Discipline makes you dangerous. And if you want a life that actually changes, stop asking how to feel better and start asking how to become better. Discipline is the answer. Always has been. Always will be. This is Dream Rise. And this is where excuses end and standards begin.